All right, everybody, and just like that, we are underway. Austin Fernandes, as I often call him, versus Avery Yebernetsky. And I'm joined here on the commenter table. Why don't you go introduce yourself?
Yeah, I'm Vince Salceda. I believe I finished in the 7-8 spin-off with Billy Stubbs. I was just taken out by Avery Yebernetsky, who is playing there on the right side of the screen, the left-handed player. He is playing at another level. He took me out. I had him at match point 4 in game 6.
Yeah.
And he responded by scoring 3 in a row to force the 7th game. And then I had him at 5-3, I want to say, in the 7th game.
Yeah.
And again, I only scored 1, got to 6. And he answered back and forced match point either way, and that's the way you want to go out. That's the way I want to go out.
Yeah, and like it's one of those woulda, shoulda, coulda moments of a 7-6, right? And it's the best way we talk about. We kind of like fetishize a 7-6 in many, many ways. I mean, so much. I mean, I know you have the tattoo. I have the tattoo. So many of these folks love the hype factor of this. But Avery, yeah, has been playing on another level when I was watching. He's got those long arms. He's got this passion, this aggression, and this accuracy. What do you think, as we're going to the first game, what do you think is going through these players' minds? I've known they're both in the Texas area, and there's a lot of, you know, they definitely have not, this is not really, definitely not their first time playing against each other. What do you think is going through their heads right now?
Right. Well, what they're doing is they're trying to set up their attack. They're trying to impose their will and see
right
the openings up there. That was a good right wall under from Austin. And Avery, okay, see his drift there to a cut. It's an excellent setup, and it's his staple. It's his, watch him do his drift. Diamond to a cut or a cross. There's a cross. He's going to do it again. It's going to go either left or right. And there's to the right. So he went left and then right. Unfortunate turnover. And Austin's pretty similar too. See, there's a diamond drift to an attempted cross, turnover real fast.
And so for those who don't know, what does a diamond drift accomplish? It certainly looks cool because you make this diamond formation using your mallet and the puck. What does that accomplish on the table?
Well, think of it puts you into a flow state. It's kind of like a basketball, dribbling a basketball. It's kind of doing like a stutter step or a crossover before you take your shot. It just gets the body into a shooting rhythm to trigger like a muscle memory, which is the shot, the execution of the shot. So that's why you see most of these players, they do that because it allows them to get into that flow state. And then once you start clicking, you know, then your opponent's in trouble.
Yeah, it seems like it kind of gets you in that rhythm. Sometimes it can feel like it's almost hypnotizing. For nameplate graphics fixed up here.
Beautiful, off of the diamond drift.
Shots.
Cross.
All right, these players will have up to 2 minutes to take their time, kind of recalibrate. Yebernetsky is joined by Weissman. He walks over, his doubles partner from Friday, Team Ambidextrous. Looks like he's giving him some advice.
Yeah, look at Avery's face. He's very intense. He's focused. He's got to get angry. He is one of those players who thrives on the emotions and uses it, turns it into positive things on the table. And he is very upset right now. He's inconsolable at this moment. You can just tell by looking at him.
So I call this. I want to tell you a story because during the doubles tournament on Friday, Avery Yebernetsky single-handedly 7-0'd the doubles team of Colin Cummings and Ben Heyman. His partner Weissman just had to sit back and watch, and they won that set. And during that time, they were given 7 minutes before they had to play another, I think it was 3 out of 5 against Cummings and Heyman, which they eventually did win. But during that time, Yebernetsky marched up and down the sides of the ballroom for 7 straight minutes. He didn't talk to anybody. He barely looked at anybody. And I call that his 7-minute march of how you come off of 7-0ing some folks like Ben Heyman and Colin Cummings. So he's got this intensity you described, that focus, and I know that this match is far from over.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Start up game 2 here, but yeah, Avery is one of those players that can go into. It almost becomes an alter ego, kind of a Jekyll and Hyde. And what we're seeing here is the Hyde, and that Hyde is a monster because I just played against it.
Yeah.
And yeah, he's got something to say on this table. Austin is not safe. Austin is in danger, and he knows it.
His spider sense is indeed tingling on this table.
It's a beautiful cross out of that reverse diamond.
Fires it off.
Exact same thing from Austin. Reverse diamond into a cross.
Oh, that's a heartbreaker.
Yeah,
it's like you need a bit more of a follow-up on your follow-through on your defense. Just because the puck touches your mallet does not mean you are safe. Does not mean your goal is still is not open to. Oh.
Yeah, Avery's in the flow.
And as a left-handed player yourself, so it must be nice seeing, you know, the Southpaws get some representation, some really high-caliber play, because from a right-handed player's perspective, I went up against a left-handed, no, actually, he was right-handed, and he switched mallets to left-handed.
Right.
During that game, I almost lost my mind. He switched up the angles, and the trajectory was not something I could, I have to basically mirror versus what I'm used to defending against. What is some advice you would have for someone going up against a left-handed player like Yebernetsky, other than run and hide from his Dr. Jack and Mr. Hyde?
Right. Well, with a traditional, so it's just a mirror of playing a righty. So the way I play righties,
Yebernetsky, yeah, awesome Fernandes, yeah.
I normally cheat a little to the right against the righties, so naturally I have to cheat a little to the left against the lefty, because that's their strong straight side. And yeah, it's uncomfortable. I don't play lefties often, and I'm absolutely uncomfortable playing against a left-handed player.
Yeah, it's interesting because, you know, as a left-handed player, you're very used to playing against righties, and righties are used to playing against righties, and so it seems that left-handed players just seem to be scary all around.
Right.
All right, Fernandes has 5 to Yebernetsky's also 5.
5, yeah. And game 1 was 7-6, so we may have another 7-6 on our hands here.
You know, I always root for the player that gets me closest to a 7-6 because I love the drama. So Yebernetsky's going to do it.
Yeah, with a transition.
Nice transition.
Let's see if Austin can respond. Oh, he doesn't. Good stop from Avery. There's that reverse diamond.
Yeah,
the transition left wall over.
Yebernetsky, I think that was a left wall over. Left wall over. See if we catching the first and second time I hit that replay. But we are going to get that recalibrated as we get the table refixed. You know, when you are throwing your whole body on the line, you tend to push the table back and forth. So if they get out of our camera angles, we'll fix that in post. See Fernandes. See the crowds kind of gathering. So watch, Yebernetsky again has not stopped moving.
Yeah. When you see Yebernetsky, if you can see his eyes, he's got some fierce in his soul right now.
Yeah, I made eye contact with him earlier after he lost that first game, and I felt like I did something wrong. I felt like I crossed a line by even remotely looking in his direction. Right. Not that he would is mad at me for doing that, but just the state of athleticism he's in right now.
Right.
Nothing can afford to crack his mental right now. Fernandes, known for his aggression, known for some outbursts, you know, some bursts.
Austin is an emotional player. Yeah, he responds emotionally, and he's learned to use it to his advantage. Clearly, he's fighting here for a spot in the top 5, I believe. Winner of this is guaranteed top 5, I think.
Wow, we are.
And fact about Austin Fernandes, this is his first top 10 finish. So this is his first trip into masterhood.
Wow, congratulations, Fernandes, just for making it this far.
It's not easy. This is the toughest tournament in the history of the sport as far as rating goes, the average rating of players.
Yeah, this is the biggest tournament I believe we've ever had. 128 players. We filled out the bracket. Absolutely incredible. You see that Brian Acrocco, tournament director, is actually going ahead and looks like he's giving some advice to Fernandes. They were doubles partners on Friday.
Right, yeah. And Brian Acrocco is Austin's practice partner. They practice regularly.
Yeah, I've heard Acrocco being often described as a father figure to Fernandes, being someone who can mentor and nurture.
And similarly with Austin, Brian is also the same with Colin. Brian brought Colin up in the sport of air hockey, our current champ, 10-time world champ.
And you know that's got to make Acrocco feel pretty good to see these wins, especially seeing Fernandes go as far as he has, and as far as how he might further go.
I don't know, it's a trend. You've got Austin and Colin, 2 young men who were both brought up by Brian Acrocco in the air hockey world, and they're both successful. Maybe there's a method to his madness, as Yebernetsky scores .1 there with that Reverse diamond cross.
Maybe a Croco needs to take a trip out to North Carolina and show us how it's done. I know that Colin Cummings and Connor Cummings recently went out to Texas. Will Upchurch, Doug Howard were also out there. So the Chicago folks, Brian Quezada was out there as well. North Carolina is really hungry. I think other than Texas, our state was the biggest representation on this bracket. So I think we had over 20 to 30 players. So you know that North Carolina is hungry, and we want to learn as much as possible as we can from these Texas players. Unfortunate self-score there, ties up 2-2.
Oh, that was beautiful. Off of the weak wall there, Austin's left wall into a cut. That worked because Avery was expecting the drift to continue across the table, and then Austin hit him early with that cut. That's why it scored.
We talk about the release of the puck, and so you see sometimes these players, they kind of coil their body like a spring, and they kind of unleash with every shot.
Right.
You see some players will like lift a leg, they'll take a step forward.
Right.
They'll use every muscle they can in their body.
It's like, the master level players and most players in general, they have a whipping motion with their arm, and that's what really makes your shot the most efficient and effective, is when you can use your shoulder, elbow, wrists, and fingers as a whip, and that's where all that velocity comes from.
And we've pulled out several speed cameras before, and some of our master level players have shots. I think it's the right wall under or a strong arm under is the fastest shot you can take in air hockey.
Right.
80+ miles per hour. Wow. We compare those to Major League Baseball pitchers and their fastballs, and then that exceeds human reaction time. Baseball, the distance is a bit further between the mound and the batter, but here in air hockey, it's an 8-foot table.
Table's 8 feet long, yeah.
If your reaction time is good, it's not going to be good enough. You have to be predictive. You have to try to read the 50-50 on what these players are going to be throwing at you. And then you have to react to what happens when the puck misses or if the puck bounces off your mallet. You got to find out where it is. You got to have that perfect synchronization.
We've got a 6-5. Hopefully we'll get another 6-6.
Yeah, we love the 6-6s here. Come on, Fernandes. We want the drama. Not if Yebernetsky has anything to say about it, because I know that that's what the last thing he wants is another 7-6.
Right, yeah, those things are cardiac checkers for sure.
Oh, that would have been a beautiful strong arm transition there, strong ball transition.
Good block from Austin, another block, good chase.
This is master level defense if I've ever seen it.
It sure is, yeah.
He tries a little bit of a cheeky straight from the center there.
Oh, that's good, still on the table.
You see Munoz, our ref, nods his head. That puck is still in play.
Yep. Look, he's slowing it down, he's setting up his shot. This is master level mentality.
I recognize that drift from you, Vince. I know that timeout is called. You see Fernandes takes a quick lap around the table, makes his way back.
It is flattering when I see a player slow it down and take a moment. And sometimes they'll tell me, they'll be like, hey, I've been practicing your style. And it's touching that, players, what does it say? The most sincere form of flattery is imitation or something like that?
Yes, absolutely. Yeah. Imitation is the sincerest form of flattery. Yeah. Because I think, there it is, Yebernetsky.
There it is, the diamond drift off of that.
Second game there.
We're at, what, 2-1 now?
There's 2-1, yes. Right. You can see continuing his march up that table. He's making a small little circle, not talking to anybody.
You know what's funny about what Avery's doing there? He's going in circles. There's an animal in the wildlife. It's called a shark. It does something very similar. And it seems like Avery may be on the hunt here.
Yeah, I think there's definitely blood in the water as he's circling.
Is it Shark Week?
I think Shark Week was back in July. I could be wrong, but shout out to Avery Yebernetsky for Shark Weeking this. Absolutely incredible display.
He's definitely focused. He's got his relaxed concentration mode. He is where he needs to be effective and efficient.
don't know exactly where Fernandes went.
And we're going to find out if Austin Fernandes can respond, because he is definitely bleeding in the water, and there is a shark about.
And my nickname of running through is Spidey. I used to be a theme park Spider-Man back in my high school days.
Cool.
Very big fan. And it's so funny. Someone asked me if I have a spider sense, or if I feel like I'm in danger when it comes to the air hockey table.
Yeah.
If I walk in this ballroom, I'm in danger everywhere. I see the high level of Texas players, Colorado players.
Can you give us one of these here?
Yeah, one of
Are you
these.
sure?
Absolutely.
You don't have any web come out of there?
No, unfortunately, I had to get those taken out for safety reasons. I can't bring those on a plane, actually, the web shooter size. Not acceptable by TSA, unfortunately. But it looks like we are going to go ahead and get back into game number 4.
Right.
Avery Yebernetsky leads 2-1. Fernandes has to find a reason for believing to keep himself.
Yeah, he does not want to go down 3-1. He definitely has to respond here. It's a whole different beast being down 3-1 than it is 2-2. At 2-2, it's still anybody's match.
And I think that these kind of are very early pivotal games. Losing the first one isn't quote unquote the biggest deal.
Right.
It definitely sets a tone, but losing your second or your third, that's when it starts. The stakes begin getting higher. All right. Yebernetsky will start with possession.
Beautiful transition.
It's a bit of replay of the game that happened earlier.
Reverse diamond drift into a cross.
Here,
It's such an effective shot.
Fight to get that possession back.
Austin went right wall under cut there. And then it looked like a cut, but he missed it. Avery gets that stop. And there's that triangle reverse diamond drift. And he cuts him this time.
Nice shot, Yebernetsky.
Austin with a cross, miss to a right wall under.
Right.
Fast.
Yeah, you see a lot of players will go into that left quadrant, that far left quadrant, and then take that right wall.
Right, and the reason they do that is because it pulls the defender to the right.
Yeah,
And it opens up that lane to go around them with that right wall under.
And you're really relying on the speed of their shot to outpace the defense of their opponent. You see,
to beat them back.
you can see this table rocking back and forth as they continue kind of shoving, usually their predominant leg into the side of the table. See, most players, the recommended stance to take it. Oh, it's an over.
Quick right wall over.
There.
Yeah, right off the wall from the drift.
Great shot. My over is probably my weakest shot because I cannot seem to find the geometry of it and even the speed and how to do that. It's definitely a quirky shot. It's actually crucial to have in your arsenal as a player. But we talk about the proper stance to take when you're playing air. Usually, if we talk about the triangle defense, having maybe your mallet about a foot away from your goal, and then your left or your offhand, the hand that's not holding the mallet, should be maybe having a good solid grip on that side of the table. That kind of helps you.
Yeah, that provides the balance. You need the balance to be more powerful. You need the balance to be more accurate. You need the balance to be more deceptive. I think balance is an underrated attribute that's absolutely necessary to be an effective air hockey player.
Yeah, and I'm wondering about the core strength of a lot of these players, because if you see how Yebernetsky ties up 5-5, you see how they posture themselves. They often be leaning over the table, kind of putting their that top side of their torso.
He almost saved that.
Yeah, that flies off into the audience there. But you see kind of like when they put their torso over it and they're drifting like that, it's almost like you're doing half of a push-up over and over and over again, basically. And you can see like the muscle definition on these players and their forearms. Nice under from
Austin
Fernandes.
responds. He's up 6-5.
Just flirting with the center line. Another 6-6. No timeouts called. They're going right into it.
Austin's going to do a quick right wall under to end this game if he gets possession back. This is a huge possession. Yebernetsky calls timeout as an experienced player would. Said, let's slow this down. This is a little too fast-paced. Let's see what happens. Austin's going to quick right wall under. Watch. No, maybe not.
Great.
He scored 2 or 3 times so far with it.
Yeah.
I'm surprised. All right, there goes with the cut. Ties it up 2-2.
What a
We got
great
ourselves a match.
shot. We are tied 2 games each. Fernandes immediately darts his way out to the ballroom, starts taking his pace. Yebernetsky versus Fernandes. This turned into a best 4 out of 7 into a 2 out of 3.
That's correct.
What do you think that means for these two players as they find themselves so evenly matched in the early part of this set? Because I know the stamina aspect of air hockey is really where people shine. If they can keep the play consistent between their games.
Yeah, I think whoever can stay the most fundamentally sound and not get caught up in the moment. We've got Colin Cummings, the current 10-time world champ, having a chat with Austin Fernandes here between games.
Wow.
And I'm sure Jacob Wiseman, runner-up, maybe talking to his buddy Avery.
I think Avery's too busy pacing. He's too busy
Avery's
marching.
in the zone. Yeah, Avery's not having a chat with anybody.
You know, if I have an opponent that I am up against and I see them go get a pep talk from Colin Cummings himself, I would say I'd be mad. I'd be like, hey, Colin, if you want to like come over here and give me a tidbit or two. But Fernandes, like you said, this is probably the highest he's kind of reached in terms of the brackets so far. And so I know that every step, every point, you can count as a personal victory.
Yes,
and
absolutely.
You know, Sauceda, I tell people this story a lot because I remember I talked about our interview we had in North Carolina after we won the state championship, and he talked about your feelings about the air hockey table, and he described it as a mirror. For our audience, why don't you go and describe what that means when you say that dynamo table, that air hockey table out there right now under all these lights, under all these cameras, all these commentators, what does that mean?
It's a mirror because when you're playing it, yeah, sure, you see it in arcades growing up, and it's not that serious, but it's a mirror in the fact that you find out who you are on that table, because when you're facing adversity such as this in a world tournament like this, how deep can you dig within yourself to get yourself to victory? And when you're met with an individual who has the same kind of will and drive, it's like an immovable force meeting an unstoppable object. And you find out how deep you can dig to win. You know, and it's not even about the winning, but it's just like when I lost match point either way with Avery, that's a beautiful thing to experience. And there's not a lot of things in life that can do that. And the air hockey table gave me that today.
Wow, that's incredible. So I feel like I need to bring out my figurative shovel when I go play air hockey. Start digging as deep as I can. We're less than 2 minutes into this 5th game. It's already 2-1 Fernandes to Avery Yebernetsky. Very fast paced. You know, we saw Fernandes. I watched one of his games earlier. I think he was up against Weissman. He took that. Pretty sure he took that game. There was one of their matches. It lasted almost 20 minutes.
Wow, that is a long match. Most games are 3 minutes tops, maybe.
3 minutes?
3 minutes, I'd say. Maybe 2.5 minutes are most regular games. Yeah. Some are under a minute. Depends how hot somebody can get.
Yeah, I mean, I've certainly hit games where I feel like it was almost no time at all. Ooh, nice block on the under. Yebernetsky will get that possession back.
Oh, Austin chasing his stuff down. He said, you better come with more power than that. Ooh, great cut from Austin.
Right down the middle.
Avery responds, cut of his own.
Respond.
Austin goes for the cross, missed it. Forehand missed it. Turnover. Avery's trying to live on that cut there. Goes under. Good block from Austin. See Austin rush that. Forehand. And Avery turned him over. That is Avery's puck.
Go back. Give a shout out. You can see Daniel Hines' head peeking up every swap from the bottom of the air hockey table. He is the shadow rep for this game. He's helping out Jacob Munoz. When you have the fastest tabletop game in existence, air hockey, take that ping pong or table tennis. You need a couple sets of eyes to really make sure you're capturing all the angles and all their perspectives, because when you have pucks moving this fast,
right.
yeah, it's
and these guys both have extraordinarily long arms, so a line judge is absolutely necessary.
Really gonna flirt with that line best
right.
they can.
Yeah. I mean, we try to get all the calls right, but you know, we're gonna miss some here and there. But
we have to actually readjust our cameras here because Fernandes, notably, like I do this myself. You put your ass into it a little bit, and you're kind of every so often you're kind of pushing the table a couple inches forward with every time you dive across the table, just like he does there. Fernandes up 5-3 now. Yebernetsky seems to often play from behind when he comes in these games, and he really catches a flow in the aspect, kind of reverse sweep his opponents like he did with Yusacita earlier. I don't want to bring up a sore subject. Apologies.
Right.
Fernandes sits 5 points to 3.
Well, Avery and I had Avery at match point 4 in our match, and he dug himself out of that. So let's see if he can do it here again. Austin misses that cross. Avery with his reverse to a cross. Yet again, it's a staple of his offense, and it works here on that possession. It's 5-4, Austin.
Fernandes takes that quick lap, quick 10 seconds. See, he's drifting his puck real close to the center line there. Some people diamond drift in the midsection. Nice, right. Well, that's the one you mentioned he was going to try and take in the last game.
Early in his drift, it fools Avery because he has to respect the straight that could come just a hair later in the drift.
He kind of had a small little pump fake. Won't you switch up the timing?
Right.
I think that was a bit of an in and out there as his forehand was so powerful. I think it actually popped in and out of the goal. I find myself often getting frustrated against things like that. I often can get a bit emotional, but you gotta act accordingly.
Well, Austin's got a chance to. There he goes with the cross out of the diagonal drift. Very good for. To Austin now.
His next game. Wow. Fernandes goes up to his own corner of the. See, Yebernetsky takes a knee, a bit of a crouch, almost like it's the air hockey table is an altar. Place where you can really lay it all out there, call upon whatever might be up, whoever might be listening right now. Whoever can lend him their power. We can do some Dragon Ball situations out here. Lend me your energy.
Yeah, it's going to be an interesting game here. 3-2, Austin. This is the closeout game for Austin, and it's one of the most difficult things to do in air hockey is to close somebody out. So Austin's job is not done yet. This is going to be. Avery is now the wounded animal, and there's nothing more dangerous in this world than a wounded animal.
So, as we described him earlier, a shark circling. That shark is now wounded and might even be backed into a corner.
Right.
And God help whoever puts a shark in a corner. So, I am very excited to see what is about to play out here. Fernandes, the aggression, the intimidation, kind of tuck it away to whatever dark part of your mind you want, but you cannot let that affect your game. Yebernetsky quickly resets the table. Often we talk about, what you do during these 1 minute to 2 minute times of downtime. Some people, they take a walk. Some people, they stay right on the table.
Right, yeah.
Looks like Rancy's just going to stand there while Fernandes might be, I don't know where he went. He might have been reached off to grab some water, grab a drink. There he comes right back to the table. Looks like they're centering our table because, again, Fernandes puts his hips into it. Recalibrate our cameras, make sure we get every single square inch of the table, all of that air hockey action. coming to you live. During this time, I want to give a big shout to some of our sponsors that allowed this broadcast to happen, that allowed this entire tournament to happen. Big shout out to the Centerline on YouTube. If you're watching this right now on that stream, big shout out to Tim Weissman, who's really built that channel from the ground up. I know he's been able to feature so many incredible matches from throughout the years, getting that nice, lovely post-game analysis. I can't wait to see what he does with the games that happen this weekend. Big shout out to Centerline. Big shout out to Recreation Sports. I believe it's Phil Arnold, one of the big titans of the game. But before we get into that, we're right back into it. We are in game number 6. Avery Yebernetsky versus Austin Fernandes. We're going to try to get back on screen here.
Yeah, it's 1-0 Avery now. Austin taking his time, went for that quick right wall under. Didn't work there, but he got possession back. Tries a cross off goal, gets possession again, another cross. He's probably going to go cut. There goes forearm there, forehand. See Avery reverse diamond into a left wall under, missed. It is so difficult to play-by-play these games. It's just so fast.
Yeah, it seems like the moment I talk about one play, about 4 have happened in the process of me describing it, right?
That's fast, lightning fast right wall under. I didn't even see it. You just heard it. Avery, reverse diamond. Cut, miss. Transition cross, miss.
Transition up, miss. I thought that went in, but Fernandes scoops it out of the goal. Great defense from both of these players. Absolutely incredible.
There's a cut off of that reverse diamond from Avery. Yep. It's his cut and cross out of that reverse diamond that makes him super dangerous. And he tried to go cross there, he just missed it.
Hops off the table there.
Great left wall under off of just a traditional diamond drift. Austin goes for an off speed and then a forehand, and he pays for it. Loses possession.
Okay,
see if Avery can capitalize. He cannot. Austin's great defense. So slow left wall over there.
I'd say a left wall over is probably one of my favorite shots in the game. You can hit.
Oh, and Austin just swinging at a random puck and transitions it into Avery's goal.
Right?
It's a lucky break. Reverse diamond into a cross, he missed. So he probably go cut here. He goes cross again. Oh, Austin traps it down with those long arms. Austin goes cross off goal. Cross off goal. Cross off goal. And then cut.
Very methodical. Looks like Yebernetsky.
Left wall under, and he just missed it. Rattled out.
Put that possession back. Fernandes.
Maybe went cross. Cut. Left wall under to a quick pot shot from Austin. Right wall under, just screams it into Avery's goal.
You know, I tell people if they want to get good at air hockey, there's so many different factors about what it is. I tell them maybe you don't want to get good, but if you want to look cool, well, at air hockey, there's 2 things you want to work on. One, your serves. Coming back from a score and being able to kind of have an answer for that. And the second thing is your transition shots. If somebody takes a miss, if you're able to catch them out, if they're not able to reset back to their diamond or back to their triangle defense, you might be able to find. Ooh, nice.
Beautiful left wall
over.
Yeah, that's a tricky one. That's a touch shot. You got to have a certain wrist action to get that kind of angle.
And a left wall over is executed in a much different way from a left-handed player versus a right-handed player. Right. The motion, the deception is a completely different ball game that players like Fernandes has to keep in mind and basically kind of like reverse and mirror what they think their normal defense is.
Right.
Yebernetsky wants to take advantage of that as a southpaw.
Yeah, we found in San Antonio that it's better to call them strong wall under and weak wall unders or weak wall overs, because that negates what hand a player is. if you use strong wall and weak wall. There goes Avery with his triangle drift, trying to cross. There's a drift to a left wall under, or a strong wall under, because he's a lefty. His strong wall is the left side. Austin tries to cut. Reverse diamond drift. Cross. Misses.
Ooh, Fernandes calls the timeout. He knows he is 2 points away from taking this match, but 1 goal away from losing it and entering into Game 7 against Avery Yebernetsky. Something that, from what I've seen Yebernetsky do, he never want to do. Do not want to have to face off against this wounded shark. We hit another 6-6, incredible. I think this is the 3rd or 4th 6-6 we found ourselves in. Oh my gosh, I'm gonna do my seat.
Has to use his youth and speed there. To a cross. To a cut. To a left wall over. A right wall under there, he missed it. And Avery's got an opportunity here. Let's see if he can force the 7th game. As a fan of air hockey as well as a player, I always, because players say, who are you rooting for? I say, I'm rooting for air hockey. I just want to see a 7th game just like that.
You see the applause goes.
And Austin threw his mallet on the floor there. Let's see how he responds. For Brian Akrako to calm him down, get his mind back into the game.
That is a tough loss.
This is a high-pressure situation. This is what air hockey is all about.
I like that. I'm rooting for air hockey.
Always.
It's absolutely incredible.
But so-and-so
display.
did this or that. I don't care what they did. I'm here to see this amazing match, and that's it. You know, I'm not rooting for an individual. I just want air hockey to be shown for what it truly is. And this, in these Game 7 situations, this is when you truly see, we're about to see 2 souls come out and battle on this table.
It's like, oh, we have just been notified that Sauceda and Billy Stubbs, you two will be facing off against each other on this very table.
It'll be for 7 and 8. Winner gets 7. We opted to just not play the set because he's got a shoulder thing and I've got a, it's just battle wounds and damage. So we just decided to just flip a coin on one game, and whoever wins gets 7. The loser gets 8.
Whoa.
Yeah.
And so it's all going to come down to who will win lucky number 7, the point. Make it a single game.
One game for 7 or 8. Yeah. Winner gets 7, finishes 7th, loser finishes 8th.
Wow. And so that's a crazy format because I could be describing, when we look at challenge sets where it's best 4 out of 7 sets and a set is best 4 out of 7 games, a marathon aspect, but you guys opted for the sprint.
Yep, just one game. First to 7 wins the rank, wins the better rank.
Well, Vince, I can say I am truly excited for that game, but I know that we still have to wrap up this one. Game 7. In North Carolina, we have a couple chants, a couple cheers. You see a big old hand, a big old hug. Wow. Some incredible sportsmanship from these 2 players. These folks get really loud and get really aggressive. It can be kind of off-putting if you're not really familiar with the community.
Austin with a cross, Avery with a cut that
1-1.
Austin got a piece of it, but it's scored. Oh, good defense by Avery on that right wall under. To a cross, Austin stays stead. Did you see that? He stayed out. Left wall over, scores. It's huge. It's good. You don't want to be on your opponent to have an over early because that gets them into a rhythm offensively. And Avery seems to be in a rhythm.
Straight there.
It's 3-2. They are both just kicking each other. Jeez. We just want to get to 6-6.
Yeah, and I'm rooting for air hockey. It's like I said, in North Carolina, we have a couple of phrases. One of them is literally, if it's getting a hype game, people just shout, air hockey! Often in these crowded barcades where we have our tournaments. Other times, great straight by Yebernetsky.
Avery's
Other times, if we reach a 6-6, first thing people shout is, get hype. We put it on T-shirts sometimes, and we really truly believe that that's the hype moment of air hockey. When it comes down to face-offs, it comes down to 6-6s. Those are the high adrenaline moments that this sport is really all about.
Avery reverse diamond into that cross again.
Yebernetsky calls a timeout.
It is a problem not just for Austin, it's a problem for the air hockey world. That setup and that shot is very potent. Let's see if Austin can respond. Tries a cut. Tries a cross. Another cross. Another cross.
Another cross.
To a cut.
And it's just methodical at this point.
Yeah, he was trying to draw Avery's defense to his left.
5-4.
And it worked. Avery with that reverse diamond into a cut.
Match point 4. This is the wounded shark we described earlier. The blood in the water was not his. It could, in fact, be Austin Fernandes's.
That is right. It is one of the most difficult things in the air hockey world to close someone out.
What
and we're seeing both of them.
Left wall forehand. Almost. The last match. Ooh, lost a mallet. Everything's okay.
Avery had that cut. He just missed it.
There it is.
Avery takes it.
Left wall up. Takes game number 7 against Austin Fernandes. He reaches over, gives him a absolutely incredible display. Our crowd does not stop clapping. I'm getting emotional just watching that.
It is. These guys practice year-round, you know, to come and showcase what they've learned and what they know. And it can be devastating for some people. It's very touching. Like, as an example, last night, Tim Wiseman had to play his son, Noah Wiseman. I don't know if you were.
I did not see that. I wasn't on our match table, but
I spoke with him this morning about it, and he took a moment to gather himself because he started to get emotional from me just asking how was that experience with your son? Mm-hmm. And he said, you know, I brought him up, I've trained him, I've coached him, I know all of his habits. And before our match, I spoke with him and I told him, son, you know, I love you and I want to see you succeed and I want to see you win in everything in life. And I'm just letting you know now that I'm gonna approach our match as if you're somebody that's in my way that I need to get through.
Absolutely. Thanks, Vince. We're going to go to our winner's circle featuring Jody.
All right, we're here with the victor of that marathon of a match. How are you feeling? You might as well have run a triathlon. Like, you're sweating, you're putting it all out there.
Yeah, I just feel good now. Made top 4, but it's not over yet. Something I wanted to shout out to Danny Hines for telling me that, you know, I haven't done anything yet until I've gotten to the finals and I've won it. So it's got my mind set. I'm ready. On to the next match.
Absolutely. I'm not going to keep you long. I know you got to stay focused, and hopefully we'll have you right here again. Great match. It was amazing to watch all those 7-6s, and I know you came back from behind a little bit, so that's what we're looking for. Again, just absolute domination. Thank you so much.
Thank you.